If you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman. To cure the British disease with socialism was like trying to cure leukemia with leeches. If you set out to be liked, you would be prepared to compromise on anything, at any time, and you would achieve nothing. You and I come by road or rail, but economists travel on infrastructure. Any leader has to have a certain amount of steel in them, so I am not that put out being called the Iron Lady. You may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. The facts of life are conservative. To wear your heart on your sleeve isn't a very good plan. You should wear it inside, where it functions best. Of course, it's the same old story. Truth usually is the same old story. It is not the creation of wealth that is wrong, but the love of money for its own sake. It may be the cock that crows, but it is the hen that lays the eggs. Plan your work for today and every day, then work your plan. It's passionately interesting for me that the things that I learned in a small town, in a very modest home, are just the things that I believe have won the election. There are still people in my party who believe in consensus politics. I regard them as quislings, as traitors. I mean it. I'm back, and you knew I was coming. On my way here I passed a cinema with the sign "The Mummy Returns." When people are free to choose, they choose freedom. Look at a day when you are supremely satisfied at the end. It's not a day when you lounge around doing nothing. It's a day you've had everything to do and you've done it. You don't tell deliberate lies, but sometimes you have to be evasive. Power is like being a lady. If you have to tell people you are, you aren't. I don't mind how much my ministers talk, so long as they do what I say. Do you know that one of the great problems of our age is that we are governed by people who care more about feelings than they do about thoughts and ideas? It pays to know the enemy not least, because at some time you may have the opportunity to turn him into a friend. To those waiting with bated breath for that favorite media catchphrase, the U-turn, I have only this to say: you turn if you want. The lady's not for turning. Christmas is a day of meaning and traditions, a special day spent in the warm circle of family and friends. No one would remember the Good Samaritan if he'd only had good intentions. He had money as well. What Britain needs is an Iron Lady. Europe was created by history. America was created by philosophy. It's a funny old world. I love argument. I love debate. I don't expect anyone just to sit there and agree with me. That's not their job. Disciplining yourself to do what you know is right and important, although difficult, is the high road to pride, self-esteem, and personal satisfaction. Being Prime Minister is a lonely job. You cannot lead from the crowd. I've got a woman's ability to stick to a job and get on with it when everyone else walks off and leaves it. If you just set out to be liked, you will be prepared to compromise on anything at any time and would achieve nothing. I am extraordinarily patient, provided I get my own way in the end. I do not know anyone who has got to the top without hard work. That is the recipe. It will not always get you to the top, but should get you pretty near. A world without nuclear weapons would be less stable and more dangerous for all of us. Look at a day when you are supremely satisfied at the end. It's not a day when you lounge around doing nothing. It's when you've had everything to do and you've done it. There is no such thing as society. There are individual men and women, and there are families. People think that at the top there isn't much room. They tend to think of it as an Everest. My message is that there is tons of room at the top. Nothing is more obstinate than a fashionable consensus. I am in politics because of the conflict between good and evil, and I believe that in the end good will triumph. What is success? I think it is a mixture of having a flair for the thing that you are doing, knowing that it is not enough, that you have got to have hard work and a certain sense of purpose. Oh, but you know, you do not achieve anything without trouble ever. Don't follow the crowd. Let the crowd follow you. Pennies do not come from heaven. They have to be earned here on earth. To be free is better than to be unfree always. Any politician who suggests the opposite should be treated as suspect. There is much to be said for trying to improve some disadvantaged people's lot. There is nothing to be said for trying to create heaven on earth. We were told our campaign wasn't sufficiently slick. We regard that as a compliment. To be successful, you have to be selfish, or else you never achieve. And once you get to your highest level, then you have to be unselfish. Stay reachable. Stay in touch. Don't isolate. I seem to smell the stench of appeasement in the air. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.